the basis is you can come in and buy a home.
You can't beat a Diyanni house for standard features. You just can't.
That's exactly the way we want it to be.
I don't know if I would have made it through this build without that Facebook group.
I was appalled. I'm like, I can't believe we left the trim, and I'm walking around the house and I'm sick to my stomach going, this is not who we are. So, what inspired you guys to choose this spacious home and to upsize rather than downsize?
We have 6 grandchildren.
Okay,
so
that makes sense.
Yes, we needed space. And most people in our age group, they downsize, but we needed space for those 6 grandchildren, so we upsized. And what got us to choose this house and this builder? Driving around, seeing the houses, talking to people, and visiting the models. And when we saw this model, that was it.
The thing that sold me more was the beams, steel beams in the basement. That gives us more space to finish the basement when it's time.
Yeah.
And also the windows, the wall of windows, is that what we call it?
The wall of window, trademark Diyanni.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. Yeah. You can't not get that window. We were gonna get a ranch till we saw that window. We never owned a 2-story house before, but that window,
That just did it.
that did it. We actually have a thing where we go to model houses and we jump. And if there's too much movement, we're like, no. There was no movement. Solid. Totally solid.
Yeah, which goes back to the steel, the engineering, and that's what allows us to do less posts, which means you have more open space. Now you have a place to really finish and make it like usable space versus like a...
And if you add a 9-foot ceiling,
Yeah.
it's even better, which we did.
Which you did.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference down there.
So great.
I mean, literally, it's, what, 2,000 square foot of livable space now.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We already have people who want to move in. When you finish the basement, we're coming to move in.
So now that you've been in, is it a little over a year?
A little over a year.
A little over a year. If you were to say, what's one thing that you really love about this house, what would you pick?
The number one thing for me, I think, is when I come in the garage and I have the mud room cubby right there. I don't have to walk in the house and drop my purse on the counter or take my shoes off. So I think for me, it's changed the way we live because our kitchen table now is not the junk spot. We have a place to put our mail, to hang our coats, for me to put my purse down, and I think that's the number one thing for me.
PMs check up on us. They checked on us.
The process.
The process, right.
Okay. So you love the process.
Right.
Which was...
They checked, make sure everything was okay, make sure, everything was tight, secure.
Yeah, I mean, so many people think that when you go to build a custom home that there's going to be all these products that you're going to have to add in to make your home feel custom, and that's exactly what we did and intentionally did. We want to make sure that people feel like they can build the house.
Well, I asked one question. I'm not going to talk about no other builders, but we asked if the garbage disposal came standard. And the lady was like, yeah, you get a garbage disposal. And I was almost well, because
the other builder was an option.
It was an option. Yeah.
A garbage disposal.
Garbage disposal. Mm-hmm.
Who does that?
Yeah. Are the toilets optional? No, kid. How far do you go, right? And the truth of it is, you don't know a lot of times until it's almost too late. And then you're confused going, well, how can
Right.
You know, the hardware be optional. I mean, the door needs
Exactly.
hardware. And that's not uncommon in the industry. We chose to go a different route, which obviously has a price that, you know, we include all these things. So there's maybe a little bit higher of a starting price, but we realize that when you put other products on the competitors' homes, it goes way above where we are.
Because I was floored when I saw granite or quartz included.
Included. Yep.
And we took the paper that had the 7 colors of quartz and the however many colors of granite, and we looked at every single sample.
Yeah. Yep.
You mean to tell me from 14 choices of standard, you can't find something you like? We had problems narrowing it down to a couple that we liked.
You're right. Yeah.
So this sparkling white is standard.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. Quartz, I'm picking out tile. I'm picking out like stuff that just doesn't come in most builders' homes. So I think that's the thing that was most surprising to me, that I got to pick out so much stuff that would be extra at another builder, and it was standard for us. And there was lots of colors. I was scared that the basement would flood, and I haven't had a drop of water.
Right.
Not one drop. Seriously, that was my fear, that I would have a wet basement.
Because during the ugly stage, we did get water down there, and when they made everything right, when they fixed it, it stopped it.
It was coming just in the water hole that the well comes in. But you don't realize that at the time. You just see a foot of water in your basement. You go, oh my God, my basement's gonna be wet. But it's fine. So when we started building this house, we were like, there's gotta be other people building Diyanni houses. So you search Diyanni homes, and then you go through everything that comes up. There were 2 groups, and I joined both. And I met some of the most incredible people in this group. And we joined at a time where, right after COVID, everybody was feeling it.
The initial it was a group started because there was a lot going on with the whole trying to build homes through COVID. That was an extremely rough time.
Bills were not going as fast as people would like. People were venting and frustrated. And it was a good place to come where people were going through what you were going through, and you could vent and share and have people calm you down and reassure you. And it was just a great place to come and get it off your chest and cry about it or console other people. And you get ideas that are just wonderful. I don't know if I would have made it through this build without that Facebook group. The advice that I would give to anybody who is looking to build a home, go to every builder you possibly can and build the house that you want. But don't just look at the price. Look at the features that you want in a home and make sure that your builder delivers. We fell in love with the Diyanni house. Let's see what else is out there. We kept coming back. Every time we go to another builder, we kept coming back. It was 2 things. 1 was the house, and 2 was the standard features.
Yeah.
You can't beat a Diyanni house for standard features. You just can't. There's nobody else out there offering what you offer for the price. There just isn't. And it's a quality home. So I would advise anybody, build the house you want and do your homework. Don't just say, oh, I'm gonna go build a house and then jump. You have to do your homework.
Gotta do your homework.
You gotta know what you're getting into. It's not for the faint. If you want your house tomorrow, forget it. This isn't HGTV. It doesn't happen in real life like that. You have to know it's a process. You have to know that going in.
And we also had a lot of people building a house the same time we were building. I won't name the builders, but they was building with different builders, and they was all like, man, I should have went with Diyanni, because they was walking through during the new construction stage, and they was seeing things that they weren't getting. And he was like, wow.
They were like, this is standard? We was like, yes, this is, we like bragging on it now. This was standard. Like, what did you get with your builder? This was standard.
Yeah, like for example, this house and the one next door went at the exact same time. And even the builder was coming over.
The builder was coming over here like,
What?
yeah.
The actual
I
builder.
think we got a call. Will you guys stop putting stuff in your houses? This is not good.
Yeah, the actual builders was coming over here going through it.
I got to tell you guys a story, though. This is good. I was driving up to meet a client at their house, and the GPS stopped me in front of a house that I'm like, okay. So I get out, I walk up to the door, and this is like about 8 months after they moved in. And I'm like, I was appalled. I'm like, I can't believe we left the trim, and I'm walking around the house and I'm sick to my stomach going, this is not who we are. And I went up to the door and I looked and I'm like, I'm at the wrong house. I'm at the wrong house. And so I walked across, I went one more down, the GPS had me at the wrong house, and I didn't have the elevation of the home on me, so that was kind of my fault, but I was sick to my stomach. That house was recently built. I don't know who did it. I was appalled. Went to our house. I'm like, oh my gosh, it was spotless, you know? And I'm like, thank God. Oh man, but yeah, that was a good one. So. We always state, you don't have to make any upgrades. You can literally build a home and you have plenty of colors and products to choose from. And you experienced it.
Yes.
You experienced that firsthand.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about that.
That's one of the things that sold us also, was when we went to the website and saw you can build a nice home with what we offer. We have this many color choices for stone and this many color choices for flooring. We're probably sitting in one of the most standard homes you've built. And I love this house. And it has standard floors, standard carpets, standard cabinets, standard countertops. There was nothing, we didn't even change anything about the floor plan. This is the floor plan as it was made, as it was designed. We did not add any square footage. We did not bump out any walls. We did not modify the home. This is an Oakside the way an Oakside is in the website, and it's perfect as is.
Wow.
And we purposely chose things that were standard because we wanted to keep the price down.
Yeah, sure.
And we put the money in the home the way it was built. So as you know, you have your nesting,
Yep.
and you have your Maplewood,
Yeah.
which is kind of like
A smaller version.
versions.
Yep.
But instead of modifying a Maplewood, just get an Oakside.
Get an Oakside.
Just get it. So we jumped out there a little bit on the house and then chose standard options, and it's perfect.